Good afternoon and welcome to Prime of Midlife. It is Thursday afternoon and the news has just come through here in the UK that the government who took the UK Nursing Union, the RCN, to court to stop their strike action has succeeded. Seemingly the second day of strike action would not have been lawful. Now, I don't know about you, but personally I would have preferred the UK government to enter negotiations to end the pay dispute rather than take the nursing union to court. If you cast your mind back to March 2020, the first COVID lockdown in the UK, the nurses were slammed. They were absolutely on their knees. They worked for years in devastating conditions. They didn't even know what COVID was at first. Remember, there was all the thing about the ventilators, and then there was no ventilators required, or it was better without ventilators. There was no PPE. Our nurses worked through that, and this is the thanks they get. Now, I had a quick look just before I came out here, because obviously it's not often I can do a video in the middle of the day about the news, and I thought I'm just going to come out before the rain starts again. Starting salary for a nurse, if you just Google it, the starting salary for a nurse is approximately 24,000. The starting salary for an MP is 86,000. Nurses, certainly in the majority of hospitals I know, they have to pay for their own parking, and that's not cheap. They have to get their own food. It's not a subsidised canteen. They have to get their own tea and coffee, etc. They don't have a wee tea lady coming round for free. The MPs on an £86,000 salary, almost £60,000 more per year without having to be qualified. They have a subsidised canteen. They can also claim expenses to run an office and to either have a constituency home or a London residence. They can claim for the expenses for that. And it's when you think of that it puts it into perspective. They have no clue what it's like trying to make ends meet in this cost of living crisis. No clue at all. They don't have to pay their electricity bills. They don't have to pay the costs of their job. There's many of us who commute sometimes vast distances, especially down in the southeast. We have to pay our own commuting costs. We have to pay our own travel costs, any accommodation costs, anything like that. MPs don't have to do that. They get it all paid for them. So to have the MPs take the nurses to court to stop the second day of the strike rather than take them into the negotiating room, I think says everything about the UK government at this time. And, it absolutely just beggars belief that this is what they're doing. And the fact that the guy from the Bank of England said we just need to get used to being poorer. I'm sorry, what? I take it you get your expenses paid as well. Or no, it doesn't really matter because your wages are enough to cover that. But if you're on minimum wage has not covered this cost of living crisis for quite some time. And I think it's about time the government realised that and that they started helping the people where there is a problem. And for that, that's most of the people on minimum wage, most of the people on just above minimum wage and such things. So yeah, I'm not impressed with this at all. I think it's ridiculous that the UK government is fighting the nurses. Put your mind back to 2020 when the nurses and the healthcare staff and our social care staff were really, really struggling. And what help did the government give them? Nothing. It couldn't even give them PPE. That tells you something. And now it's turned on them. Do you know, it was all quite happy for us all to stand outside and clap for the carers. But when it comes to putting their hand in their pocket, it's all right for all these new peers to go into the House of Lords with their expenses for every Prime Minister that's stopped over the last few years. but it's not all right to pay our healthcare staff. Something far wrong there. So yeah, there you go. This will be one of my last videos down here. I've looked at the news, as you can tell. I'm none too impressed. So I'm going to go back and hide in my lovely caravan while the rain starts, and I'll catch you later.